Episode number 69, My Experience with Kambo. Welcome, boss bitches, to the Boss Bitch Rising podcast. My name is Coach Kale, but some people prefer to call me Daddy Kale. I'm a mindset and success coach as well as a business strategist for entrepreneurs. I have over 10 years of experience as an entrepreneur and have helped transform the lives of thousands of people. I hold several certifications including NLP or Neuro-Linguistics Programming, Hypnosis, EFT, Reiki and Energy Healing, among others. My coaching method is simple. Awaken, align, activate, then ascend. Awaken your inner boss bitch through connecting to your most authentic self. Align in understanding with love and purpose. Activate your goddess soul, then ascend into your most confident, powerful, badass self. I know you're going to find so much value here. Now let's rise up. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to the Boss Bitch Rising podcast. I know this is a highly anticipated episode, so I did want to try to get it out to you in a timely manner, but there will likely be a part 2 after I have had all of my integrations happen after my Kambo ceremony. Now, in this episode, I want to go into the basics, what Kambo is, why I decided to do it, why I felt called to do it in the first place, and share my own personal experience. Now, I do want to make a note that everyone's experience on Kambo is going to be different. I felt called to do it because I felt like I needed deeper healing. I've spent the last 4 to 5 years of my life really diving deep into healing old wounds, recovering from trauma, really getting deeper connected to my most authentic self. Therefore, I am very connected to my higher self. I can make clearer decisions than I ever have before. And that is a byproduct of doing this deep healing work. When you start to get more connected with yourself and really understand the reasons why you are showing up the way that you do, taking responsibility for yourself in how you're showing up, but also taking responsibility for your healing, this is going to allow you to really start manifesting that life that you've always desired. Now, in my experience, not only my personal experience, but my experience as a coach, I find that a lot of us are doing the same things day in and day out that are completely out of alignment for what it is that we truly desire. We say we desire these things, and we might truthfully desire them in the deepest depths of our hearts. But the way that we're showing up, how we're thinking, how we're speaking, the actions that we're taking, and the habits that we have in our day-to-day life are just simply not in alignment for all that we are trying to manifest into our life. And because of this, this makes the manifestation process extremely frustrating and difficult because we are trying to manifest something that we are not yet ready to receive because we are completely not in a space or out of alignment from actually being able to receive it. Now, I know that there might be a lot of conflicting thoughts and feelings around what I just said. That is because I have done this work. I have seen it with my clients. Whenever we are disconnected or out of alignment from something, we may wholeheartedly really desire to have that thing, but we're doing things to keep ourselves stuck. And part of that means we need to heal. We need to heal old wounds. We need to heal past trauma. And that does look different for everyone. Therefore, the healing process will be different for everyone. Just like the Kambo ceremony that I participated, that was my own special ceremony. And if you feel called to do Kambo one day, your ceremony might look completely different than what mine looked like and what I will be sharing in today's episode. So over the last several months, I would say maybe about 1.5 years now, I've been sharing more and more about my story and my past history of trauma. And if you listen to my podcast, then you do get a deeper look into all of the trauma that I have endured. I share more here than I do on my social media, just because I do like to keep my social media page a little bit more light, a little bit more positive. But I find that a lot of breakthroughs can happen when we are truthfully honest about what we've endured. And trauma there's so many different types of trauma, and trauma does store itself on a subconscious level. So types of trauma are events that have taken place over a long period of time, and trauma can also be a one-time event. But essentially what trauma is an event or several events or a long period of time of trauma that happens on your timeline that really does affect your subconscious programming and triggers, as well as how you're operating on an emotional level. Usually trauma either completely shuts us down emotionally or heightens our emotions, so we're constantly operating from a place of emotion, whether it be anger, frustration, sadness, the need for control. And I resonate a lot with a lot of those emotions that I just mentioned. I feel like for a long period of my life, I had anger issues where I would just hold on to that angry feeling for a really long time, whether it be towards myself or towards others. Also, the need for control is something that continues to come up in my healing journey. I find that a lot of times it's hard for me to release the control that I feel like I have. I don't necessarily feel like I want to control other people, but I like feeling like I'm in total control over myself. And that is something that came up a lot in my Kambo ceremony, which I will be excited to share a little bit later on in this episode. So I do talk about and mention trauma so much here because over the last 5 years of my life, I have really taken an intentional approach into my healing journey. I know that I was carrying around a lot of behavioral patterns, thought patterns, speech patterns, beliefs, not only about myself, but the outside world that I was living in that just were not serving me anymore. That I have this life that I desire in my heart and I envision it in my mind, but no matter how hard I thought I was trying and working towards manifesting this life, I just continuously fell short time and time again. And each time that I've gone a little bit deeper in my healing process, I've realized or uncovered even more depths of the parts of me that just aren't working anymore, that just need more love and attention and focus. And that is part of the reason why I felt called to do the Kambo healing ceremony, because doing plant medicines can help you. Again, if you feel called to do plant medicines, they can help you really get deeper into that healing process. It really can help you remove your ego. Now, I find most of us are showing up and operating the majority of our life, our day-to-day life, from the place of our ego. When our ego is there and in control, this does not allow us connection to our higher self. This actually creates quite a disconnect. Typically, your ego is the thing that is not only trying to protect you, but the thing that makes you want to satisfy that need to be seen and heard. When you remove the ego, you are completely humbled in your truth and your authenticity. And that is part of the hardest part of healing, is removing your ego enough to get to the depths of the healing that really needs to take place. And when you're able to remove that part, now, I do want to say this. We all have an ego. The ego is a natural part of the human experience. So no matter how much healing you do, you're still going to have an ego, and your ego is going to rear its ugly little head time to time, sometimes a lot. But the more intentional healing work that you do, the more time that you spend with yourself and really just in self-evaluation, not self-criticism, but self-evaluation, the more that you'll realize how your ego is showing up, how frequently your ego is showing up, and how it's not serving your highest and best good. You'll learn to take or put the ego in the back seat so that your higher self can now step into the forefront and guide you forward. And you'll learn to listen more now to your intuition through this healing journey, as well as your connection with your higher self. And that's why it is so important. Our ego is getting in our way. And a lot of us who have endured deep trauma and do need that deep healing really just need to kick that ego in the back seat, connect with our higher self, sit with ourselves, and really understand who we are on that deep spiritual level. Take the time to nurture our soul. Take the time to really break our heart wide open so that our higher self can really start to guide us forward. And when we allow ourselves this time, this is the beautiful opportunity for you to step into massive alignment. Now, if you haven't quite started your healing journey yet, I wouldn't necessarily starting off into Kambo immediately. This is just my own personal recommendation. I would sit with yourself and really, really, really ask yourself some tough questions first. Now, I did 5 years of healing, and I kept going a little deeper, trusting myself in going deeper in my healing journey. And earlier this year, Kambo kind of came across my wavelengths or my vortex, and then it kept coming more and more and showing up so frequently to the point where like the Kambo spirit forced me to take notice of what is Kambo. And as I started doing more research into what Kambo is, I was like, okay, all right, cool. And I wasn't really feeling called right away, but it kept coming up. And the more that it came up, the more that I felt called to, this is what I need to do. And the more that I sat with that feeling or that calling that I was feeling, I was like, all right, I think I want to do this. And then I had to decide when is the right time for me. And it just felt right that I should shed everything that I was holding on to that was not serving my highest and best good all through my childhood years, my teens, my 20s, all of that baggage that I was carrying for such a long time, all of the healing work that I've done over the last 5 years. It just seemed right for me to usher in my 30s, this new decade, by doing this healing ceremony and really just releasing all of that baggage that I've been carrying around for such a long time. So this is the way that I welcomed my 30th birthday. This is how I celebrated, was with this beautiful healing ceremony. And let me tell you that I feel so amazing. I don't think I can recall a time that I've ever felt this grounded. I'm like tearing up right now. I can't really recall a time that I've ever felt this grounded, this at peace. And I really have Kambo to thank. In my Kambo ceremony, I was able to release the need for control. I still am working on that though, but I was able to release a lot of that. I was able to feel the most warmth and love and comfort that I felt in a really long time. And I was also able to release so much anger that I was carrying around deep in my core. And it's such a beautiful experience to have these really toxic emotions that a lot of us are carrying around. It was beautiful to be able to purge all of that from the depths of my core and to release this toxicity out of my system. And then not only to release it, but to feel the peace and tranquility and the calmness and the grounding that I do feel now is just so beautiful. And this is like kind of what I've been waiting for such a long time. And I'm excited to share all of what Kambo is. So let's get into that now. So Kambo is a frog venom. The venom is harvested from the frogs they tie the frogs up. Everything is done ethically. My shaman cares very much so about animals. She tries to be as vegan as she possibly can. So she does care about where and how the venom is being harvested from the frogs. She's also very mindful that the frogs are not over harvested because obviously they have this secretion to protect them, but they are constantly making this venom secretion. So there is a period of time that each frog has to wait between venom harvests. But the venom is harvested from the backs of these frogs and is applied to a stick that then the venom dries, and it's scraped off of the stick to be used for the actual ceremony. So Kambo is a traditional healing ritual performed in many South American countries, and a shaman healer performs the ceremony, which involves burning the person's shoulder, leg, foot, or in my case, I also had my forearms burned in 2 of the ceremonies. And then the frog secretion is applied to the wound. Now, I will mention this, you absolutely, if you feel called to work with Kambo, seek out a trained and trusted professional. You do not want to work with anyone who is not a trained professional in this ceremony, because of the reaction that it could give you and just the care and the space that the shaman holds for you in the ceremony, in my opinion, is like one of the most important parts. It's not so much about the medicine itself, but it's the space that is being held for you while you are going through this journey. If you don't have a trusted and trained professional, trusted and trained shaman for this Kambo ceremony, then you should wait. You should wait and seek out someone who is trusted and trained and work with someone that you feel called to work with. Again, this is tapping into your intuition and feeling that calling into using this medicine. So the medicine is applied directly to these small burn wounds, and it's only left on you for up to 20 minutes, and it sets in pretty quickly. I was actually quite surprised at how hot I got during the first ceremony. I mean, I got hot during every ceremony. I just wasn't expecting it, and it was a little alarming to me. But it's a vasodilator, so it literally makes you so red, so flushed, so hot. And that's how you know it's setting in. My cheeks really felt flushed, and I felt like I was getting a little swollen, but that's how you know it's working, and it works really quickly. I mean, depending on how many wounds that you have burned and how much medicine and the type of medicine or where it was harvested from, it really can have a quicker reaction or a more intense reaction. So the medicine causes you to purge using the skin secretions of the Kambo, a species of frog. The effects of the secretion on humans can include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, as well as crying, yawning, burping, and for me, during my first ceremony, severe shaking. So I chose this beautiful ceremony for so many reasons. I felt called to do the medicine, and I believe that you should only work with this medicine when you feel the time is right, and only work with whom you feel called to work with. In my case, my dear friend, who is also a shaman, Danica Gisvold, was the beautiful shaman for this ceremony, and I did 3 ceremonies with her. I felt called to work with her specifically. She's up in Santa Monica. I know a couple Kambo practitioners down in San Diego, but Danica was the one that I felt called to work with, and I'm very grateful and very blessed to have had the opportunity to work with her and the space that she held for me. So I also felt called to do this beautiful ceremony because I have done some massive healing work over the last 5 years, but this medicine in particular allows you to go even deeper into your own healing. I realized that so much self-judgment I was holding on to for such a long time, as well as anger, the need for control, which I am still working on. And I felt so much deep love from Kambo, and I was able to release these judgments, this anger, a lot of the need that I feel like I used to have over controlling my life. And now I just feel more peace and love. And I chose this medicine because I wanted to usher out a lot of the trauma that I endured and I was holding on to throughout my 20s. I really wanted to allow myself to really release, finally let go a lot of that baggage that I was carrying around so that I could welcome my 30s, this new decade, with a new fresh start, both spiritually and energetically. So you might be wondering, who is Kambo for? Kambo can be for pretty much anyone. There are a couple underlying health and medical conditions that you cannot do Kambo if you have them. Some of those include any heart problems, if you're currently taking chemotherapy, if you have a history of seizures, if you're breastfeeding. There's a couple other things there. So obviously, if you're seeking out Kambo, I would definitely ask your Kambo practitioner to see a medical waiver to make sure that you are eligible to receive Kambo before obviously doing a Kambo session. Kambo is wonderful if you are looking to go deeper into your healing. if you are looking to remove and release a lot of that baggage that you feel like you've been carrying around for just too long, and maybe it's been hard for you to fully release that. For me, anger was one of those feelings. I really felt like I was just carrying around this suppressed anger for myself, for scenarios in my life, for other people in my life for such a long time. And this Kambo ceremony held the space for me to literally go to the depths of my soul and allow myself to fully release this anger that I really, really, really desired to let go of. So I would recommend only doing Kambo when you feel the time is right. I was actually really excited leading up to my Kambo ceremony. I was doing a lot of deep work, meditation work, journaling work, you name it, more than I was already doing. I was intentionally spending an hour of meditation, if not more, every single day for 30 days leading up to that. I was calling it my Dirty 30 Shed, where I was spending time intentionally reflecting on my life, lessons that I've learned, ways that I've healed, how I've really started to step into my power and own my truth and authenticity. And I would definitely recommend for you to do the same thing leading up to your Kambo ceremony. But with all of that being said, do Kambo when you feel called to do it, and do it with somebody who you feel called to do it with. Finding that trusted and trained shaman is very important, and doing Kambo in a space that is safe and open for you to really release and let go. Energetically or even spiritually speaking, you want to make sure that the space that you are doing your Kambo ceremony in is a safe, secure, comfortable, and grounded place. There should be sage to energetically clear the room and yourself prior to the session. There should be an intention setting session that you do prior to even stepping into the Kambo ceremony, but also intentions for Kambo at the very beginning. I'm so grateful that my shaman Danica allowed me the safe, open space to really talk about and share all of the things in detail that I was releasing. She created that trust and that safety and allowed me to really open up so that I can get very clear on what it is that I'm releasing and very clear on the intention that I'm setting for the Kambo ceremony. But again, do Kambo when and where and with whom you feel called to do Kambo with. So now I would like to share my experience with Kambo. I did 3 different ceremonies, and each of the ceremonies were completely different from one another. The first Kambo ceremony was not super intense like I was expecting it to be. There was no purging, there was no crying. There was crying during the intention setting portion of it, but not during the actual Kambo medicine portion of it. But there was lots of shaking and twitching. It's crazy because the shaking felt so familiar, like this has happened before, but no big deal. But then this thought popped into my head, like, you're the one that's doing this to yourself, Kale. If you just release, relax, let go, something might give. And the second that thought popped into my head, I kind of assessed where it came from, but then I just decided to let go. And the second that I decided to just let go, my body stopped shaking so much. Sometimes we hold on to things because they feel super familiar. No matter how uncomfortable we might be in that moment, we struggle to release and let go because it just feels so normal or so familiar to us. And we just think, this is it. This is what I'm going to deal with now, I guess. But how often is this just a story that we're telling ourselves? How might things be different if we just learn to flow and allow our bodies to release and just let those not so good feelings go? Allowing our body to release those not so good feelings doesn't always look and feel the same from moment to moment, but sometimes it means just relaxing and letting go. Other times this means crying or purging or other ways to honor that particular release. What's crazy though is my intention for this first Kambo ceremony was to really just release anything that's not serving my highest and best good and to invite more flow into my life. as I'm transitioning from my 20s into my 30s, I found that really just flowing into your life, doing what feels best, doing what you intuitively feel called to do, creates this really harmonious state of freedom, fun, alignment, and it gives you permission to do something different from moment to moment instead of feeling like you have to stay in this little box or this cookie cutter life that you've created for yourself. For me specifically, this feels good. I want to create and allow more flow state in my life. Flow is a very feminine energy, and this is a very nurturing energy. So the more flow that we allow into our life, the more that we can have freedom to be creative and to have fun. And that is what the life that I want to live is, a life of freedom and a life of fun. So with that being said, I needed to intend to really allow more flow in my life. And Kambo honored that request of mine. Kambo honored that intention, but first had to put me in check. Had to ask me, how am I willing to listen to what feels best or what is in flow in my life? And so that really uncomfortable shaking, it was a purge, but it was also the little voice in the back of my head that told me, you're holding on to this feeling of shaking. You're tensing your body so much because of how uncomfortable it was making me feel that I'm actually creating the shaking more than, like, my body started shaking at first. And I was like, okay, we're shaking. And the more that I thought about shaking, the more I started shaking. And the more that I held on to that feeling of shaking. And I was shaking for probably 8 to 10 minutes. And finally, it just popped into my head like, girl, you're doing this to yourself. Relax. Stop being so tense. Release the need for control. Stop obsessing over the fact that you're shaking and just relax. And the moment that I decided to give in to that little voice in my head, that intuition, and just relaxed, the shaking stopped. Well, it stopped a lot. It didn't completely subside. I still was shaking a little bit, but the intensity of the shaking before was crazy in comparison to when I just decided to relax. And when I just decided to relax, that made the experience so easy to get through. And I only had a few minutes left. Again, the medicine is only kept on for 20 minutes. And once the medicine is removed, you start to feel back to normal within a matter of moments, really. The medicine is removed, and moment by moment, you start to feel a little better, a little better, a little better. And in less than an hour, you're feeling hopefully back to your normal self. I was feeling pretty good, pretty energized after my first Kambo ceremony. So energized that Danica and I went and did some horse therapy at her ranch. She has 2 beautiful horses. We fed some pigs. I saw the giraffe Stanley. Like, that was such a beautiful grounding moment to have after my first Kambo ceremony. The first ceremony was also filled with so many angel numbers and synchronicities. We finished the ceremony at exactly 12:12. We ate lunch, looked up, the clock said 1:11. We left for the horses. I looked at my phone. The time was 2:22. I showered and went to journal and looked at the time, and it was 4:44. I saw 1234, which 1234 is one of my specific divine angel numbers. I also saw 234 and 456. It was amazing to see all those angel numbers and angel numbers that speak directly to me on this first day of my Kambo ceremony. So I thought I would share that with you as well. So then my second Kambo ceremony was later that night, and it was actually easier than the first. So my first Kambo ceremony, I had 3 marks or 3 burns put on my right arm, my right forearm. The second ceremony, since my first one was pretty easy, my second ceremony, we did an additional mark and we did them on my left forearm. So I did 4 marks this time. And after realization the first time to just relax, let go, and let it flow, I carried that learning into this second Kambo ceremony. And I did mention earlier in this episode about the warmth that sets in within a matter of moments after the medicine is put on the wounds. And so that's kind of what I was waiting for. That was a little alarming during my first Kambo ceremony. So obviously that was to be expected for my second. Well, during my second, this was actually the best part. This warmth was so comforting. The love from Kambo felt so good, so nourishing. And it was just such a beautiful way to spend my second Kambo ceremony. There wasn't a purge. There wasn't shaking in the second Kambo ceremony. It was really just me basking in the warmth of the frog and the feeling of almost like being wrapped in this big bear hug or this warm blanket. Like it literally felt like something was surrounding me, like holding my shoulders and really loving me and supporting me. And my second ceremony was such an easy, such a beautiful ceremony, but I received exactly what I was supposed to receive in that second ceremony, which was comforting love and warmth. I did receive a beautiful angel card that Danica and I pulled after my Kambo ceremony, which was called the Pillar of Light. And I will read you what it said on the card. So it said, "Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. You are heaven and earth in perfect expression, a conduit for the light of the heavens to the earth. You are the rainbow bridge. Take time to meditate. Imagine yourself as the pillar of light, connecting the light of the heavens above with the light of the earth. As the light shines through each of your chakras, you activate the rainbow bridge that many ancient spirits speak about, raising your vibration to the vibration of the planet as a collective, linking higher realms of the cosmos, guides, angels, and spirits with the ancient wisdom keepers. They dance together through you. They shine together through you. Without your body, your voice, and creations, neither can be expressed. For too long, we've been taught that God is outside of us, giving away our power to the angels and spirit guides. But without you, they do not have a voice. You are the oracle. Do not look for guidance outside of yourself, for you hold all of the wisdom in your entire universe in the portal of your heart, in every cell of your body. Do not see the angels and guides as above you, for without you, they have no way to communicate. You are the oracle. You are the rainbow bridge. You are the pillar of light." So then I held the card to my heart and I said aloud, "I allow the light of the heavens and the light of the earth to flow through me now. I activate the codes of remembering within my cells and chakras. I activate my system as a rainbow bridge between heaven and earth." This was such a beautiful experience. Like, my first and my second Kambo experiences were very easy for what it's worth, but just exactly what I needed. I needed to really listen to my intuition and allow myself to release and let go. And then to feel that warmth and receive this oracle card or this angel card after the ceremony was just so perfect. And also, I apologize if you hear the cats in the background. They are playing. They're probably feeling my energy right now and feeling how good I feel. So they're up and about. They were sleeping not too long ago, but now they're running all over the house. So after each Kambo session, I would spend time journaling, not only journaling about my experience, but what came up specifically and how I was feeling afterwards. Was I feeling tired or energized? Was I feeling a nudge or like a little voice in the back of my head guiding me somewhere? I also would take some time to set the intention for the next Kambo ceremony that was to come. So for my second ceremony, I am going to read you the intention that I wrote in my journal. The intention says, "I release the old emotions, old tension, old energy, and old things that no longer serves my highest good. I step into the power of truth and authenticity. Thank you, Kambo. I am listening. I am ready to receive. Guide me now." Now, my last Kambo ceremony was a doozy. So, because I had such calm, peaceful combo ceremonies for my first and second. There was no purging happening. Danica felt called to bring out the big boy stick. This is a more potent, more intense frog venom that she only uses on herself. So I'm grateful that she felt called to pull out this different combo medicine for me for my last ceremony. Now, the last ceremony I did do on my birthday, 12/15, at my birth time. I was born on the East Coast at 3:15 p.m. So that means 12:15 West Coast time. Hey. So I did my last combo ceremony at 12:15 on 12/15. So this was obviously another beautiful angel number, a very divine synchronicity, and we did 5 marks on my left shoulder this time. So, and we did use that more intense, more potent frog venom for this third and final combo ceremony. And this ceremony was way more intense than the last 2. But it is just what I needed, and I am so grateful for the purge that happened here. So much anger was purged, so much really like long holded and deep holded emotion really came up and was purged. So much that that does not serve me and did not serve me was finally gone now. And I am grateful for this experience. I am grateful for Kambo. I'm grateful for Danica bringing this beautiful gift to me. And so much goodness has come of it. Now, I did throw up a lot. And you do fast before the combo ceremonies, and you do a plant-based diet leading up to the combo ceremonies. So you're really only purging the water that you're consuming, and you do need to consume a lot of water prior to the combo ceremony. I had 2 to 3 liters of water prior to each combo ceremony that I had. So, and I did 3 combo ceremonies in a 25-hour window. And so I was only really vomiting bile and water, really. So, obviously throwing up's not the most fun thing that you can do, but being under combo medicine and feeling the feeling of allowing yourself to release these toxins and just purge these emotions for good was such a powerful feeling. But what's crazy is while I was purging, I felt so utterly weak. Like I couldn't even keep my eyes open. And it was an intense release. This also showed me where my need for control over myself is always coming up. The first 2 sessions, I didn't ask Danica when the session would be over. In all honesty, I didn't even really care. I was just like, we're going to get through this all as well. Well, during my last ceremony, I was just like, this shit just needs to be done. Like, I didn't want to stop early, but I was ready for it to be over because of how weak I felt and how much I was purging, how much anger kept coming up, how much of that old tension kept coming up. And I did ask Danica how much time was left because, again, the medicine is only left on for 20 minutes. And at the 20-minute mark, it's wiped off and you start to feel better again. And I just wanted to feel better again, but I knew I still had more purging left to do. And so I didn't want her to take the medicine off, but my need for control, I wanted to know what to expect and how much time was expected to be left in this combo ceremony. So I asked her, there was about 6 minutes left in the combo ceremony. I was like, how much time is left? I somehow mustered the strength to ask that because, again, I could not keep my eyes open for that last one. And I was just vomiting so much bile and so much anger. But I finished all 3 combo ceremonies strong, especially that last one. Definitely gave me a run for my money, that's for sure. But these experiences were so beautiful. It was such a beautiful way for me to usher in my 30s and to allow me to leave behind anything that is no longer serving me in the highest and best way in my 20s. So you might be wondering what happens next. Well, I am currently in the period called the integration period. where all of these things that I have released are still being released from me, and all of my new learnings are still being integrated into my system, into my conscious and subconscious mind. And so over the next several days, weeks, and even months, I will be in this integration period where I might have new realizations come up, new things to release come up, new things that need to be healed that now come into my vision or understanding. And so I will still continue to do a very similar diet, very plant-based diet. I will try to avoid caffeine over the next several days, weeks, and months. And sleep is very important here throughout the integration process. Getting outside in nature is very important in the integration process. Moving my body, meditating, and really just focusing on my self-care, spending lots of time alone throughout this integration process is very important so that you can fully absorb everything that took place and integrate them into your system as these new learnings. So I will likely be sharing another podcast episode, in the next weeks or possibly months, sharing my integration period. Now, of course, I'm not going to make any promises on this. There might not be any huge breakthroughs or things that come up. Therefore, recording a whole podcast episode on that might not be the thing that I want to do. But definitely stay tuned on my Instagram, because I will definitely be sharing more and more realizations that I'm having through my stories and my posts there on Instagram. I do encourage you, as we're stepping into our power and the energy shift of this new year to come, this is a beautiful time for you to really start getting clear on who you are and what it is that you would like to call in for this next year ahead. In that, I ask that you spend a little bit more time alone. Of course, we've all been spending lots of time alone this year because of all that's been happening this year, but spend intentional time alone. So not watching TV, not really listening to music unless this music is going to get you grounded. And going inward, asking yourself some tough questions, looking at some of those parts of yourself that you've been maybe hiding from or suppressing for a long time. Start to uncover what it is that might be holding you back from really achieving that next level of success that you are in the process of manifesting. Really get connected to your most authentic self, your wants, your needs, your desires, the way that you think, the way that you speak, and how you feel about not only your life, but the environment that you live in. Really getting connected to yourself on a deeper level is part of the process to becoming a master manifester. But of course, I do wholeheartedly believe that really diving deep into your healing and taking responsibility for your healing is also going to really emphasize how much of a powerful manifester you already are. And like I mentioned earlier in this episode, when we start to dive into our trauma, this process it's not easy. And sometimes this process of healing hurts worse than the wounds themselves. But it is totally worth it. Diving deep into your healing will help you remove those fears, self-doubts, limiting beliefs, those negative patterns that you have that used to be in place to protect you, but are now currently no longer serving you. When you dive deep into your healing and really take responsibility for those things about yourself and your life that aren't in alignment anymore, and you intentionally choose a path of heightened alignment, of clear intention, then this will allow you to become even more of a powerful manifestor and allow you to attract things into your vortex like you've never done before. So with all of this being said, I would like to invite you to my Breakthrough 2021 online virtual summit. This virtual summit is a 3-day event that is pre-recorded, so when you sign up, you have access to all of the content. And it goes into the mind, body, and soul connection that it takes to literally creating that deep alignment that you need in order to manifest and create the reality that you truly desire. Day 1 goes into the mind connection. Many people make big goals without first understanding and aligning with the mindset they need in order to actually achieve what they are setting out to do. And Day 1 will prepare you with all that you need in order to get you into the right, aligned mindset so that you can become a master manifestor with all that you are attracting into your life in 2021 and beyond. Then day 2 talks about that body connection. Around this time of year, many of us have the goal to get healthier, addressing the powerful trifecta of not only fitness, but also nutrition and holistic health with the support from a personal trainer, holistic health coach, and a naturopathic medical doctor. This day will help you fuel your fitness and your health goals and stay in optimal health throughout this next year ahead, including anything like even a pandemic that could be thrown at us. Then day 3 is that soul alignment. This day will help you go deep within yourself to find your true source of power, connection, alignment, and intuition. This is where confidence and assuredness and action happen. You'll learn how to expand the manifestation process so that you can create the ripple effect of success in all areas of your life. I am hosting this 3-day virtual breakthrough summit. Again, there are several coaches, mentors, experts, and doctors that are on the panel for these 3 days. Not only are you getting access to their own teaching content, but they're also providing bonus materials that you can use, you can download, however you need to use this whole 3-day virtual summit to really fuel your success, not only in 2021, but moving forward into every area of your life. I am very excited to be sharing this virtual summit with you. I've been working very hard on it for several weeks now, getting all of the speakers together, getting all of the content ready for you. And I'm excited that it's here, it's ready to rock, and I can't wait for you to benefit from this and really implementing everything that this virtual summit is bringing to you, to setting goals, to living your healthiest, most abundant lifestyle, and to stepping into full alignment with what you truly desire out of life. To attend this event, go to my website, kaleroberts.com, click on the events tab, and it'll be right there, the Breakthrough 2021 Virtual Summit. There are 3 ticket options as well for this event, so make sure you check it out. There's a basic ticket, there is an upgraded ticket where you get more bonus content included. You get access to some of the guest experts' courses and other teaching materials. And then there's a VIP package where you get highly discounted one-on-one coaching from me as well. So you have 3 ways to attend this event, 3 levels of commitment that you can make to yourself. I cannot wait to see you in this virtual event. Thank you so much for listening to this episode today, learning more about Kambo and just the process and the journey of healing that I am on and that I am passionate about sharing with you. I hope you are ready to start setting intentions and getting clear on your vision for this next year ahead. With all of my love and light, thank you so much for joining me in today's episode. Thank you so much for joining me in today's episode. I hope you found extreme value in today's content. Of course, if you love today's episode, take a screenshot, share it on social media, and tag me in it, because not only do I love to feel all the love, but I also love to hear your feedback. Of course, if you want to get connected with me further, you can find me on my website at kaleroberts.com or on social media. I'm at The Kale Collective. Until next week, boss bitches, rise up.